had his moments. I think that the two guys in that camp, actually three, Matt Bowman, who's with the club now, and Lucas Sims and Anthony Bass, who now, by the way, is a member of the Seattle Mariners pitching staff, so he's out of the organization. And I think Lucas Sims has been around the block long enough. He's been playing professionally since 2012. He knows what the deal is. He knows even if he pitches sensationally tonight, there is no spot for him right now in this rotation. But at least he can open some eyes, and if they need somebody down the road, certainly he'd be the first one they look at.
Right, and he's had some big league time, and he knows what happens. He knows what goes on. He knows what's not in his control. So control what he can out on the field, and that's pitch. And if there's another opportunity, you keep pitching well at AAA, and he'll be the first one back up.
It'll be Kevin Newman to lead things off for the Pittsburgh Pirates. You noted the absence of Joey Votto from the lineup. When he didn't play the second game last night, a lot of people assumed, myself included, that he was just getting a day off. That was not the case at all. He had a hamstring discomfort last night. They kept him out of the game. They had hoped to have him back today. That's not the case. But he was not placed on the DL, and that's a good thing. The first pitch presented by Belterra Park, Cincinnati. One amazing place to play. It's a strike, and this game is underway. 87 blistering degrees here at game's beginning at Great American Ballpark. Kevin Newman down a strike, and this one is in the air and out of play. And quickly he's in a hole at 0-2. They were talking about all sorts of things about how they were going to clear a spot to give Lucas Sims a chance to pitch tonight, and the decision they ultimately made was sending left-hander Wandy Peralta out to Louisville. That's a swing and a miss and a punch out on 3 pitches to start things off for Lucas Sims, who will go to work on right fielder Gregory Polanco. So what is interesting now is the fact that, Danny, the Reds are down to 1 left-hander in their bullpen. They had 3 in Zach Duke and Wandy Peralta and Amir Garrett, and now Garrett's the last man standing, at least temporarily. So
right, and Garrett is the guy that you want to bring in crucial situations and get the tough lefties. So it's really tough having 1 lefty, but to me, I think Matt Bowman can get the lefties out as well. He's got really good stuff to both righties and lefties.
Here's Polanco, a left-hand batter, and he drills it back into deep right center field, and going to the warning track and making the grab in front of the 370 sign was Nick Senzel. So Polanco gave that ball a ride, but it stays inside the yard, and it's flagged down by the Rook, and the batter now will be center fielder Starling Marte. I think the 1 left-hander situation will be addressed in rather short order. I would suspect that Zach Duke will be coming off the disabled list very, very shortly, that would get him back to 2. And I think there was some feeling prior to the first game yesterday, as Marte takes a breaking ball in the dirt, that Cody Reed could well be a guy who would hang around, even though he was a 26th player brought up yesterday and had to be sent back down to Louisville. But he sustained an injury last night, a strained medial collateral ligament in his left knee, I should say, yesterday afternoon, and he may well be out for up to 3 weeks. They don't expect that he will have any baseball activity for 10 to 14 days, and then it would probably take about a week or so after that. So it could be upwards of 3 weeks before Cody Reed comes back, and he's been placed on the Louisville injured list. 2-1 the count on Marte with 2 out here in the top of the first inning, and that pitch a swing and a miss. Even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our plate umpire Jeff Nelson, he's the crew chief. Corey Blazer at first, Laz Diaz at second, and Jansen Visconti, the umpire at third. Trying for the 1-2-3 start is this native of Lawrenceville, Georgia, and it's fouled straight back by Marte.
And another guy you're talking about not having many lefties back down there is Jared Hughes out of the bullpen. Could easily get lefties out. They're 3 for 24 off him on the season already, so he's a guy that can definitely get left-handed batters out.
Coming back with a 2-2 pitch, and it's hit in the air, shallow. That could be a problem, and it drops in front of Senzel and then kicks behind him and heading to second and out. Great tag at second base, and I would imagine Clint Hurdle might want to take a look at it, but it was an outstanding tag by Jose Iglesias. On a bang play at second, and I guarantee you Marte thought that baby was chalked up. But it'll be a single, and it will be an out at second. Who made Senzel hacking on pitch one from Jordan Lyles and fouls it off. And now he comes up and in. Lyles does with a breaking ball. He is 4-1 lifetime with a 4.12 ERA in his sojourn through the roads of Major League Baseball. That pitcher called strike, and really it seems like after years and years and years, coming up through the Houston organization years ago initially and looked upon as one of the bright lights in their entire organization, it really never worked for him. But to come to the Pirates and pitch the way he has so far this season has been very impressive. 5-1 with a 281 earned run average, making his 10th start. And the league batting a rather meager 211 against him. He's got a 2-2 count on Nick Senzel pitching and a strikeout swinging. Or was the ball? Yep. Plate umpire Jeff Nelson had to make sure that Diaz hung on to the baseball, which he did. And Senzel continues to strike out at a very, very high rate. That'll bring up Jesse Winker with one away in the scoreless game of the first inning. Western and Southern Financial Group wants to strike out cancer all season long. Every time a Reds pitcher strikes out a batter, Western and Southern will make a donation to the Barrett Cancer Center. As Western and Southern says, when it comes to fighting cancer, we are all in this one together. Melky Cabrera, meanwhile, apparently had a problem with the glove he was using and raced back toward the third base dugout to be met there with another one. So all systems are go again. Lyles checks his defense and now directs his attentions back toward the plate and left-handed batting Jesse Winker. The pitch on the way, and that's taken ball one. Winker has swung the bat very well lately. He's hit 9 of the last 11 games, and over that span, a 325 batting average to slowly raise his seasonal average. Breaking ball off the plate outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Lyle's a big guy, 6'5", 230-pounder, born in Hartsville, South Carolina. Now makes his home in that state's capital, Columbia. And now it's a 3-0 count. That start he made against the Reds back on the 4th of April, a game the Pirates won 2-0. He worked 5 innings and pitched 3 hits, shutout baseball. And had a call strike, 3-1. Eugenio Suarez waiting in the on-deck circle with 1 out. Lyles studies Diaz and pitches to Winker. And he pops him up. Left side, short left field. Cabrera coming, and in bright sunshine, he'll make the catch. 2 out. Now Suarez will bat. Tied for 9th in both home runs and runs batted in the National League, 14 and 39 respectively. Brings to the plate a very respectable 279 batting average. They shift to his pull side, which is the left side of the infield. Settles in and waits. And Lyles with a windup in the pitch, and that's in for a call strike. Lyles not a guy who will regularly give up home runs. In 51 and a third inning of pitching, he's given up only 4 all season long. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Foul ball back. That pitch just a little bit in on Suarez. It was probably in his wheelhouse, but a little bit too much inside, and he was only able to foul it off. Kick in the pitch, and it swung on and lifted out of play. 12:35 tomorrow, the final game of 4, featuring Anthony DeSclafani and a Pirate left-hander, Stephen Brault. Thursday will be an off day, and then Friday it'll be the Washington Nationals under Davey Martinez coming in for the first of 3. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Up and in to run the count to 2-2.
And looking at Jordan Lyles' career numbers, his career ERA, his lowest, was a 4.33 prior to last year after being traded to Milwaukee when he had our very own Derek Johnson as a pitching coach.
Indeed. 3-2 now. Second time he's gone a 3-ball count to a Reds batter. Suarez climbing back into the box. Lyles straight up on the pitching rubber, seeks out the sign and in with a payoff pitch. And he walked him. That baby took a lot of courage to take that pitch. That baby was very, very close. It could have gone either way, and I don't know that there would have been an argument offered up from any side, but a walk nevertheless, and Suarez is there, and the inning continues for Derek Dietrich. Now, we don't know whether anything will happen tonight, but he certainly stood and admired that long home run he hit last night late in the second game of the day-night doubleheader. Of course, got him into trouble when he did it in Pittsburgh when he hit 2 in one game, and they retaliated as most teams will. Instead, the first pitch, a changeup, and he ties Derek Dietrich in knots as he swings and misses. Two clubs over the last dozen years or so have a history. That's high and inside a ball. .237 batter, 14 home runs, tied with teammate Suarez for 9th in the National League, and he's knocked in 29 runs. The 1-1 pitch. And that's at the knees for a called strike. Close enough for him to start around, but then he thought better of it and checked the swing, and it cost him. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, if he throws that same breaking ball, I know Derek Dietrich could hit that one in the river. That's right in his wheelhouse.
Ready now with a 1 ball, 2 strike delivery. And that's low. He watches that baby all the way into the mid of Diaz. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I feel right now the Sun Field in this late afternoon / early evening in Cincinnati. The right field area completely engulfed in shadow, and you can go in and out in center depending upon finding the shadow of a light standard. Swung on, ground ball, backhanded by Josh Bell, and he'll go to the bag for the putout, and that takes care of an uneventful soul of him. Goes back to the mound where he'll get Bell, Cabrera, and Moran, and you here on the Reds Radio Network get the man from MLB.com, and that will be Mark Sheldon. Mark?
Marty, I got something to tell you.
I hope this is worthy of my time.
It may not be, but
the older I get, the more I hate to waste time.
Well, I hope I don't get a lot of abuse for this, but I actually had a dream about you last night.
Oh, gosh. Family show here, Mark Sheldon.
No, it was a clean dream. We were grocery shopping together.
Yes.
Which is odd enough.
Line drive foul, right?
It was probably a Kroger who you sponsored.
I'm sure it was.
And you asked me to reach into this cooler to get you what was in there, and it was Miller High Life.
Yeah, that's
which is you. But then when I gave it to you, it was Miller High Life ice cream, and you were not happy with me.
I wasn't.
You were like, I want the beer, not the ice cream. And then I woke up.
Here's a high fly ball hit to right field, and Puig will wait for this baby to come down. That baby's high enough to draw rain, and Puig makes a catch and a big out there. Anytime you can retire Josh Bell now, had that been a cooler full of Tanqueray, that would have been different. Been all over that.
Yeah, you didn't want the Miller beer ice cream.
The Miller beer ice cream, that doesn't quite work.
As good as beer is, it wouldn't be good ice cream.
No, it would not.
Well, nobody would know better than that than you.
Mark Sheldon.
Here's Cabrera, and the first pitch is a strike. Well, we got that dispensed with.
Was that worth your time or no?
Not really. I found it rather humorous because, like most dreams, they're nonsensical. Here's a ground ball foul at first.
My whole life is nonsensical.
Nonsensical.
Yeah, you like that?
Love it.
That's a legitimate word.
Yeah.
Nonsensical.
Yeah.
It
took them forever to decide how they were going to make a spot on the 25-man roster for Lucas Sims.
Yeah, some stuff was moving around. They wanted to check Joey Votto, who has a tight right hamstring, and make sure that wasn't more serious, and it was not. So they, in turn, sent down Wandy Peralta.
Strikeout swing in Cabrera. That's second for young Sims, and he'll go to work now on third baseman Colin Moran.
And then on a side situation, Cody Reed hurt his left knee, MCL, and
right.
Even though that's separate from as far as a DL move, he gets to go on Louisville's DL instead of the Reds one. But I think they just wanted to see what their situation was, and then once they figured that out, it was Peralta getting sent down. He has options left.
Mark, that reduces their ranks among left-handed relievers to only Amir Garrett. I would think that would be temporary, though. Zach Duke's got to be close to coming off the DL.
That's what they think. They think that he's only going to miss the minimum amount of days, which was 10, and that they could have him back. So that's one possibility, yeah.
And, Danny made a good point as Moran swings and misses the 1-2. They got a couple of right-handers down there that get left-handed hitters out as well as left-handers.
I mean, David Hernandez can do it. I'm sure Jared Hughes can do it.
Right, correct. At the same time, you want it to be a temporary situation.
Certainly.
But
totally.
Not like you're in dire straits. That's a rock and roll group.
I know them.
0-0. Yasiel Puig opens the second for the Redlegs, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. He hit the second of back-to-back home runs last night. He hits a very high fly ball into somewhat shallow right center, and they will defer. They meaning all of Gregory Polanco to Starling Marte. The center fielder makes a catch, 1 out. Time now for our Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the game. Text the word vote along with your answer of A, B, or C to 66128 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, $25 Skyline Chili gift card, a $25 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, free haircut from Great Clips, brought to you by Cincinnati Bell, connecting what matters. Here's Iglesias. And he pulls it there by third down the line and left. In pursuit, Melky Cabrera. On his way to second base is Iglesias. He'll take the turn, and he will come into third base sliding, and that's a 3-base hit. Melky Cabrera had all sorts of problems getting a firm grip on that ball down in the left field corner, and Iglesias on top of it from the get-go, never broke stride as he rounded second and rolls into third base, and that's his second 3-base hit of the season. One of the most iconic players in Pirates history, Danny Graves. That would be Hall of Fame shortstop Hannes Wagner. Played 21 seasons in the big leagues, 18 of which were spent in a Pirates uniform. What other major league team did Wagner play for during his career? Was it A, the Hartford Blues? Was it B, the Louisville Colonels? Or was it C, the St. Louis Cardinals?
That's got to be C, St. Louis Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals is your answer.
That is my answer for now.
Now, if you miss this one, you're going to be asking me tomorrow. No, you missed 2 in a row, and we'll see you later.
Wait, did I get last night's? Are you sure, Tommy? Tommy says I didn't get it.
So actually, you missed 2 yesterday. You should have been answering. You should have been asking this of me, but I give you a break. Tucker Barnhart, a high chop. That's going to get a run in, fielded by the pitcher behind the mound, and he throws on to first. So it had a whole boatload of air under it. Might have been off the plate. And by the time that Jordan Lyles could backpedal and field the ball on the fly behind the plate, he had no chance at all of getting Tucker Barnhart or the runner at home plate, and it's 1-0 Reds here in the bottom of the second. So not the Hartford Blues, not the Louisville Colonels, but the St. Louis Cardinals.
I'm going to stick with the St. Louis Cardinals for now.
I got you covered.
Something might come to mind in a little bit.
I'm good for it. Swung on, foul back. I don't know. What does something might come? What does that mean? Somebody cheats and lets you know what the answer is?
No, I'm not going to do that. I would not look at my phone and get any text.
I would hope not. That's not the Christian way of doing things.
It is not. It is not. Back in the day,
please don't go there.
We won't go there.
Do not go there.
But I'm going to be completely honest when I give you my answer.
Okay. Swung on and fouled out of play by Peraza.
Just, when I say something might come to mind, I might be thinking about it and say, there's no way that it was the Cardinals.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough for me. I like that. The pitch, up and in. So the Reds get a run here in the second inning on the triple by Iglesias and the ground out by Tucker Barnhart, and it's a 2-2 count on Peraza. And he hits a skimmer to short. The rookie Cole Tucker up and throwing in the
factor today. Sims back to work, and he brings it home. First pitch is a strike call. 0-1 on Diaz, hitting .240. No homers, 6 RBIs for Diaz. Sims out of the windup, home quickly with the 0-1. It's a breaking ball, sent in the air to right towards the line. Over Yasiel Puig, and nonchalantly he'll make the catch for the first out of the third. One away now, Cole Tucker. Tucker at just 160, couple of homers, 6 driven in for Cole Tucker. Lucas Sims joined the Reds last year as a September call-up. He came over from the Braves. Adam Duvall deal. The pitch is a strike over the outside corner. Matt Whistler, Preston Tucker also came over in that trade, the 0-1. Up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. And Sims was in the mix to possibly make this team out of spring training. He was got just a couple of days over to minor league camp right before the Reds left Goodyear. The pitch swung at and missed by Cole Tucker, 1-2. The Reds will shift. They'll put 3 on the right of second base and move Suarez between second and third. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And that's 4 strikeouts. Lucas Sims today.
The changeup was filthy right there. He's throwing 94, 95 miles an hour, and that changeup looks so good and then just kind of dies right at the end at 88 miles an hour.
Two men are out for Jordan Lyles. Lyles is just 1 for 15. And the pitch in there for a strike.
One time through the lineup, 9 batters faced, 8 first pitch strikes.
That ain't bad. Off the inside corner, the count is even a 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that's being aggressive, and that's what you love to see out of your starting pitcher.
Especially a guy straight up from AAA. And the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball drops in there over the outside corner. 1-2. Sims home with it, and a swing and a miss. Breaking ball down and away. And down on strikes, Jordan Lyles. 5. Jordan Lyles is back to work for the Pirates in the bottom of the third inning with the Reds up 1-0. Jordan Lyles also made the game's 15th out, brought to you by Geico. He struck out swinging to close out the top of the third. Saving you money on car insurance has been Geico's home run for over 75 years. Get a quote today with a proud partner of Major League Baseball at Geico.com. Geico, so easy, a caveman can do it. Lyles ready to go back to work now against Lucas Sims, and he deals him a strike. Inside corner, down the knees, quickly 0-1 on Lucas Sims. His first at bat this major league season, and the pitch is a strike, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Swing, and that's a tap foul at the plate. Still 0-2 on Lucas Sims. Get some at-bats down in AAA.
How was he hitting in AAA? That good, huh?
Yeah.
So I was looking up his major league stats as a hitter, and
that good, huh? Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes.
You know, his swing, it looks very hitterish, but now he's 1 for 18 in his career.
We'll get you.
It's okay, man. Just keep on dealing out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's not what he's there to do.
No.
Back to the top of the order, Nick Senzel. He struck out his first time up. Jordan Lyles coming off kind of an interesting outing. His last start, he pitched against the Rockies, worked 5 very clean innings against Colorado on Thursday, and then just imploded in the 6th inning, and he deals low and outside for ball 1 to Nick Senzel. Gave up 6 runs in the 6th, couldn't get out of the inning. Pirates still got him off the hook. They won that game 14-6.
And he got the win.
He did.
Living right.
You don't have to guess where that game was played. 1 ball, 1 strike on Senzel as Lyles faces Senzel, and the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball stayed high. 2 balls and a strike. Pirates have really played well behind Jordan Lyles this year. They are 8-1 in his starts. The 2-1 pitch. That's a strike, outer half. Well thrown to Senzel, and the count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, the offense is living right when he's pitching. 14 runs, 5 runs to start before that, 5, 6 runs. So
Not
he's
bad.
getting some support.
The 2-2 is low and inside, and the count fills up on Senzel with the bases empty and 1 man out.
The 6 earned runs you mentioned made his ERA jump up to 2.81. So imagine how great he was pitching prior to that.
I mean, lights out. Before that disaster, and the pitch is spoiled foul over by the Pirates dugout. It's been an interesting ride for Jordan Lyles. Already talked earlier about how it just really hasn't materialized after at one time being one of the Astros' top prospects. He was a supplemental first-round pick of the Astros originally, the payoff. Senzel fouls it back. And he's bounced around a little bit since then. He's played with the Rockies, Padres, last year with the Brewers, and now the Pirates this season. He was signed in December following the 2018 season and signed a deal with Pittsburgh. And there was some question whether or not he would even make the rotation out of spring training. He's turned into one of their most reliable starters. Senzel pops up the 3-2 right to Josh Bell behind first base to make the catch, and now 2 gone in the 3rd.
Well, Jordan Lyles mentioned all the teams that he's played for. He's been a starter, he's been a reliever, but I'm convinced this is not a coincidence. He finished last season with Milwaukee and Derek Johnson, and Derek Johnson gets pitchers to pitch at their best. He finds ways to get them to feel confident about themselves and to get their stuff to work for them. And last year was his best year, 3.31 ERA, and this year he's already off to a great start with a low ERA and a lot of wins.
He was claimed off waivers by the Brewers in August and struggled a little bit his first few outings. Winker takes down and in for ball 1, and then, as you mentioned, after working a little bit with Derek Johnson in Milwaukee, he closed out the season with 8 straight scoreless appearances out of that Brewer bullpen, spanning 10 1/3 innings. Pretty good way to close out your season.
And no home runs given up.
The 1-0 pitch. Winker rockets a line drive, sinking quickly to center, but not quick enough. Starling Marte comes racing in to make the catch. And 1 hit, but Lucas Sims has faced the minimum through 3 innings. He has been awfully good today, Danny Graves, and you talked about it. You pointed it out last inning when he worked to Jordan Lyles. First pitch strikes to 8 of the 9 hitters, and now 9 of 10 as he deals a strike to Kevin Newman. And it's not just like he's flipping a fastball up there to get ahead in the count. I mean, he's spinning everything, and that was a breaking ball. Now the 0-1, up and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, and that gets hitters very uncomfortable, not knowing what's coming. They know one time through the lineup how aggressive he is, and he's pounding the strike zone, but they just don't know what he's doing that with.
1-1, breaking ball rolled over weakly on the ground to the shortstop. Iglesias fields and throws him out. Kevin Newman quickly erased to begin the 4th inning. During your next trip to the ballpark, visit concession stands, the Kroger meal deal, which includes a hot dog, a Coke, Mission tortilla chips, and during this homestand, Emerald Cocoa Roast Almonds. Be sure to pick up Emerald Cocoa Roast Almonds at Kroger stores throughout Reds Country.
And the command of his fastball is brilliant right now, and he's thrown the curveball and a slider, and he actually has thrown a changeup a couple times for strikes as well. So when you have 4 pitches for strikes, take your pick.
The first pitch to Gregory Polanco is a fastball fouled off, strike one. And you're talking about not just getting, a fastball over to get ahead in the count. I mean, you were mentioning that when you get a breaking ball over, that completely changes the whole complexion of an at-bat, because at that point, as a hitter, you don't know what's coming. The 0-1, check swing, foul, 0-2.
Exactly, and right there, the first two pitches to Polanco proves that. The first pitch was a breaking ball down and in, and then that pitch was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, kind of down the middle, but Polanco gave a little check swing like he wasn't sure if he wanted it or not.
Right.
So the discomfort is a big deal.
The 0-2, swing and a miss, and I mean, Polanco just looked silly chasing that breaking ball down and out of the zone.
That was a different breaking ball than the breaking ball for the first pitch of the at-bat, too. That's more of the 12-6 curveball down in the strike zone, a little bit slower with velocity. So, I mean, I can see why Polanco's looking silly. Lucas Sims has everything working right now.
And he's making it look easy out there, too. 6 strikeouts for Lucas Sims. He works with nobody on and 2 out. Here in the top of the 4th inning as Starling Marte stands in, and the pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Fastball, strike one.
And the first pitch fastballs that he's throwing, they're not just right down the middle here, get yourself out. There's some effectiveness on it. There's some finish. He's hitting the corners inside and outside.
The 0-1. Too high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But that too high, I'm saying that's for a purpose. That sets up either this pitch or the pitch after.
His 1-1 is fouled straight back, and it's ball and 2 strikes, and again he went back to the fastball.
And that one was a little bit away on the black, outer third. Looked like a good pitch to hit, but Marte, his timing was there, but he wasn't able to square it up.
Marte out of the box for a moment. I mean, he looks as though he's trying to figure out what in the world is he going to throw here. And here comes the 1-2, and he buried a breaking ball. Marte laid off. Two balls, 2 strikes. Sims has been working quickly, and he's home with the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's 7 for Lucas Sims. This is the first pitch, and fouls it back for strike 1. See if the Reds can tack on a few more insurance runs here. Just 1 run so far for the Reds on only 1 hit, but Lucas Sims has been outstanding. See if the Reds can give him a little cushion to work with. Jordan Lyles has been pretty good on the other side for the Pirates. Suarez takes low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Eugenio Suarez. He walked back in the first inning. One of only 2 base runners for the Reds through the first 3 innings, and now Lyles misses up and in. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball, and Suarez drives it to left, and that's going to bounce and go to the wall for extra bases. He's around first and on his way into second base with a leadoff double. And he's on for the 2nd time tonight. See if the Reds can cash in as Derek Dietrich comes to the plate. Dietrich talking about the home run that he hit yesterday, and maybe it took him a little longer to get out of the box. Talking with reporters after the game, deadpan. He said, well, I talked to my hitting coach, Turner Ward. He said, slow yourself down and back it up. He said, so I slowed myself down and backed it up. Dietrich drives one deep to right. This one's way back there, and it's gone. A 2-run shot for Derek Dietrich. It's 3-0 Reds.
And just so people understand, I know they love this, what Derek Dietrich's doing. I love what he's doing. I don't mind the slow trot, but when he says Turner Ward told him to slow things down, it means just take a step back, wait for your pitch, and then drive it. And he did that. But of course, since it's the Pirates, people are making a big deal out of it. I love the fact that he is standing there watching it and taking his time around the bases. MLB wants it to be fun, right? Let it be fun.
He's just having some fun with the game of baseball. And he went on to say that. He goes, this game's supposed to be fun, and that's what we're doing. And now Yasiel Puig. And a breaking ball misses down and away. Derek Dietrich has taken over the team lead now with his 15th home run of the season. That's RBI's 30 and 31 for him, the 1-0. And Puig fouls it away. Of course, he and Puig went back-to-back last night. And Puig sprinted around the bases after he hit his.
And that was amazing.
Oh, it was classic. Of course, he got back to the dugout. He and Dietrich threw their arms around each other and shared a good smile and a laugh after that. The pitch misses inside, 2 balls and a strike. And if you can't smile and laugh playing this game, then
find another job.
Yeah, maybe it ain't for you. The 2-1. Breaking ball fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But it's so much fun to watch people having fun doing their job.
And you know what's so impressive about Derek Dietrich? Of course, we know how much fun he has even when he's not playing and doing the different things that he does. But looking at his numbers, 116 at-bats this year, 15 home runs. Well, Nolan Arenado, all-star third baseman in Colorado, 15 home runs and 211 at-bats.
Right.
It's very impressive what Derek Dietrich is doing.
The pitch misses and the count runs full now on Yasiel Puig. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Read this today, and I thought this was just a staggering stat. And Puig will back out of the box. That now makes it 10 of Dietrich's last 16 at-bats. Or, excuse me. That is now 10 of his last 15 hits that have been home runs. Puig fouls the payoff back. He has homers every 8.14 at-bats, but he doesn't have enough qualifying plate appearances to officially tie Milwaukee's Christian Yelich for the National League lead in that category. I mean, just a staggering rate, the payoff. And Puig lines it to left and sinking quickly, but Cabrera gets there to make the catch. 1 gone, and now here's Iglesias. So even though you won't see him on that list of home runs every so many at-bats, he's still hitting them at an alarming rate.
Yeah, I don't think he's worried about the alarming rate. He just likes the result.
He just likes hitting them.
As do we.
Here's Iglesias, the pitch. And that's off the outside corner. 1 ball, no strikes on Jose Iglesias. He tripled his first time up today and then scored. The 1-0. Breaking ball off the inside corner. It's 2-0.
And Colin Moran, the third baseman, was playing off the line in that first at-bat, and now he's kind of hugging the line down there at third.
He'll back up, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike. Lyles through the signs. He's ready now, and the 2-1 pitch. Grounded foul from the third base camera well. The Pirates had 3 infielders to Iglesias' pull side. Now they'll play him a little more straight up on the infield. And he fouls back the 2-2 pitch. The count holds. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander against right-hander. Lyles brings it home, and it's popped foul to the right, out of play. Lyles shrugs the shoulders as he picks up the sign, and now the 2-2 pitch. And it's a breaking ball that missed down and away. And it runs the count full on Iglesias, 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. And it's fouled back again.
Getting closer, Tommy.
That one, the sign down there. 3-2 on Iglesias. Lyles back home with it. And that missed down and away. Ball 4. And 3 of the first 4 have reached in this 4th inning against Jordan Lyles. I'm talking about his last start when he was cruising along and then hit a wall. Well, here he is, really fighting it in the 4th inning. He gave up a leadoff double, followed by Dietrich's homer. And then after a hard-hit line out to the left fielder, now a walk, and Tucker Barnhart bats.
He was kind of cruising, even though he had the triple mixed in there from Iglesias in his first at-bat, still was cruising until this inning. And then that 9-pitch at-bat to Jose Iglesias in this at-bat really got him working a little bit.
Moved to first to check on Iglesias. He's back. Short lead for him over at first base. Lyles brings it in, and it's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. 0-1. And now all of a sudden, Lyles looking like he is experiencing some discomfort. So they'll bring the trainer out. Ryan Housan will go have a look at Jordan Lyles. And Clint Hurdle sauntering out there as well, and now everybody will gather on the mound. And boy, this is the last thing the Pirates need. Lyles has dealt with some injuries over his career. In fact, missed about a month of the season last year with an injury. And we talked yesterday about how many injuries the Pirates have had to deal with this year.
It's very unfortunate if he does have to come out with an injury. I mean, not just for the fact that they have had so many guys. You never want to see somebody get hurt out there on the field in general. I'm looking at the replay, not really sure what that could have been, but he's going to take a couple warm-ups. So hopefully that means it's not his arm. If you feel something in your arm, pretty good chance you're not going to take any more warm-ups.
Right. If you're listening today on your Car Truck Radio, please remember to buckle your safety belt. This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. If you're not buckled up, what's holding you back? They got a couple of tosses in. Now they'll check him out, talk to him a little bit more about how he's feeling.
And he kind of waved them off like, I'm okay, but now they're really questioning him.
Clint Hurdle trying to talk to him and basically say, hey, I'm not looking for, I would assume he's basically saying, I'm not looking for a hero here.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to let him know that it's a long season and he has a long career ahead of him, and he wants to make sure that he's okay to stay out there. Because some pitchers are hard-headed. Most of us were. You want to stay out there at all costs. And that with Cody Reed last night.
Yep.
He sprained his MCL, but he went out there and continued to pitch through it and pitched well. And then turns out that he's not okay.
I thought that was pretty impressive when we found out today that he's going to be hurt for, he's going to be shut down for a couple of weeks. And the way he still gutted through that performance yesterday, it was impressive. Runner on at first, 1 out. Lyles is going to stay in this game as he goes to work now against Tucker Barnhart. Switch hitters up there left-handed, grounded back to the pitcher, but drove in a run his first time up. And he takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. It was after the first pitch to Barnhart that something flared up on Lyles, and they came out and took a look. The 1-1 pitch. Strike called outside corner, 1-2. And again, we'll see the Pirates with the count shifting to 2 strikes. Shift to Barnhart's pull side. Swing and a miss, and he's down on strikes. Here's Jose Peraza. One on, 2 outs. The Reds have scored 2 in the 4th inning and now lead it 3-0 as Peraza bats. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Lyles delivers a strike over the inside corner, and it's 0-1.
And Lyles grimaced again after that pitch, like something didn't feel right.
The 0-1. Ground ball headed for third. Scooped up by Colin Moran. He'll throw to first on a bounce, and it's picked by Bell for the out. And the inning is over. The Reds, though, get 2 on a Derek Dietrich 2-run home run. His team leading 15.
This reminded Don't Miss Star Wars Night here this Friday night. Purchase a Star Wars ticket package presented by Skyline Chili and get your ticket to the game and a limited edition Darth Vader bobblehead plus. Don't miss characters from the film series as well as a post-game fireworks show set to a Star Wars themed soundtrack. For tickets, visit reds.com/themes. That's this Friday night, opening game of 3, Reds against the Washington Nationals. Here's Josh Bell leading off the top of the 5th inning. Lucas Sims working now with a 3-0 lead in the first pitch. A high change that swung on and missed. Bell led off the 2nd inning and flied to right. Lucas Sims has now retired 9 batters in a row since Starling Marte's 2-out single in the first, in which he was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double, which means that through 4 innings, Lucas Sims has faced the minimum. He's worked against 12 batters, 7 of which he has struck out. And now with a bit of a bigger comfort zone for this right-hander from Georgia. As the breaking ball hangs high and outside, the count goes to 2-1.
And the only base runner / hit that he gave up was Starling Marte, you mentioned, and that was not a first pitch strike in that at-bat. Every other at-bat, first pitch strike.
Well, now he's behind in the count to 3-1 on Bell, with Melky Cabrera and Colin Moran also due up here in the inning. Needing a strike, Bell looking for something to do damage with, and he can only foul it off, and it's a full count. It has been the kind of start for Josh Bell that no one could have anticipated. I mean, there's very little that he has done wrong, if any at all, as a matter of fact, and going forward with the kind of year he's had, and he lines one into right field, and that ball is going to be by Puig, gets off the base of the wall, and Bell will roll in standing up with a 2-base hit. Now, the price you pay for falling behind to the man who came into this game batting .340, that is his 19th double of the season, and we are exactly 2 months into the season today. So the second hit of the evening for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the batter now will be left fielder Melky Cabrera, who was a strikeout victim back in the second. Cabrera, who has just had an outstanding year in his own right. He was not even considered to be a regular player when the season began, but as things turned out, he was, and took advantage of it as he takes the Lucas Sims curveball for a strike. He got a chance to play right out of the chute when Gregory Polanco, who had the shoulder surgery on his left shoulder last September 12th, was not ready to begin the year. They finally activated him on the 22nd of April. But Cabrera got a chance to play, and play he did. And now finds himself as a pretty much of an everyday player, even more so now with Corey Dickerson out and on the disabled list. hitting at .333 with 3 home runs and 16 RBIs, and now waits on Sims in the 1-1 pitch. Checking the runner dealing at a very high pop-up. Foul territory, first base side. Derek Dietrich in front of the Reds dugout and makes the catch. So 1 away, and here's Colin Moran. Moran back in the second inning, also struck out. He just joined us. The Reds have a 3-0 lead, scoring in the second on a one-out triple by Jose Iglesias and a ground out by Tucker Barnhart. And then in the last inning, a leadoff double by Suarez. And here's a liner caught by the second baseman and the flip on to Iglesias. And that is a double play. So he continues to face a minimum as
Lead the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-0, and there's a new pitcher on the mound for Pittsburgh, and it is Jeff Hartlieb on for the 5th time of the year. Only 3 2/3 innings pitched, a 7.36 ERA.
Pitching line on Jordan Lyles, 4 innings of 3-run baseball earned. He gave up as many hits with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. And now it'll be Hartley facing the 9 1-2 batters, Lucas Sims and Nick Senzel and Jesse Winker. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Great American Ballpark. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem special check-in offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app right now. We demand that you do that.
Demand. I love it.
Yeah.
It's really pretty good.
Yes, it is. Here's a pitch, and it's in for a strike. God bless the Dayton Dragons for what they announced would officially get underway tonight. Here's a swing and a foul at Fifth Third Field. And all in response to the widespread damage caused by the weather emergency last night, the Dragons accepting non-perishable food items at Fifth Third Field for all 6 games on the current homestand, beginning with tonight's game, and cash donations will also be accepted. Lucas Sims strikes out swinging. All non-perishable food items collected at Fifth Third Field from tonight through June the 2nd will be donated to the Food Bank Incorporated. Additionally, the Dragons will conduct a pass the bucket at each game during this homestand for fans wishing to donate money, and all proceeds will be donated to the American Red Cross Dayton chapter. All fans with tickets to any of the 6 games on the current homestand who are unable to attend a game or games due to issues related to the weather damage may exchange their ticket to any future Dragons game this season based on availability. We congratulate the Dragons, and certainly we send out our prayers and our thoughts and our positive hopes to all those people affected by the very, very damaging and destructive weather that we had in so many parts of what we refer to as Reds country last night. 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Nick Senzel, who was struck out and popped out. He has a high swing on a pitch up and fouls it off. Thanks to our pal Tom Nichols, who's the Director of Media Relations and Broadcasting for the Dayton Dragons. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. The Reds have a 3-0 lead. Jeff Hartlieb in his first inning of work. Foul ball. Jesse Winker waiting on deck as Senzel surveys the defensive landscape and climbs back into the batter's box. Very high pop-up over by the third base dugout. And Osuna reaches in but can't reach in far enough, and Senzel will hang around. Fans, it's Bowtie Tuesday with Mike's Car Wash. If the Reds win tonight's game, you'll save $5 off an ultimate wash tomorrow at all Mike's Car Wash locations. And Mike's will donate $1 for every car wash to the Reds Community Fund. Hartlieb sights aside, now the motion and the 1-2 pitch on the way. And that one is hammered to center field. And Marte gets turned around and cannot make the catch. One bounce and into the seats, and that'll be a ground rule double for Nick Senzel. He got completely turned around, and then while still going back hard, he reached up but failed to come up with the ball. One bounce on the track and into the seats in that area just below the PNC Power stacks in almost center field, deep right center, and Senzel at second with his fourth double.
And you don't see Starling Marte do that very often. He's a very good center fielder, but that ball was hit so hard it may have been knuckling off the bat a little bit from Senzel.
So let's see what Jesse Winker can do about getting him in. He flied to left and lined out to center in his first 2 times up. Here's the stretch and the pitch, and it's taken a little bit low for ball 1. Now the 1-0 pitch, swinging at a foul ball to left, and that ball will be back in the seats. We were making reference earlier to the Star Wars ticket package, and we want to underline and make sure you understand that this is a ticket package Friday night and not a gate giveaway. You have to buy this package in order to get the bobblehead. So don't come under the mistaken impression that if you show up, you're going to be one of those who gets the Star Wars Darth Vader bobblehead. That can't happen unless you buy the ticket package itself. And it's going to be a big night here at the ballpark. Star Wars will forevermore be a very, very popular series of motion pictures. And normally fans turn out, and I got to tell you, based on our getting one of the bobbleheads today, the Darth Vader bobblehead's pretty cool.
Just another one to add to your collection.
I got a big collection too, Bubba. However, I read tonight, and I'm going to be all over it. I'm sure if Amanda's listening, she will agree that on our next trip into Milwaukee, one of the stops that we make will be at the National Bobblehead Museum and Hall of Fame up in Milwaukee. Here's a smash, base hit to right, and it's going to be a 4-0 ball game. Winker will try for second. Here comes the throw, and he's in slatting with a double. Back-to-back doubles net the Reds another run and a 4-run lead here in the 5th inning. Winker's 8th two-base hit of the year and his 18th run batted in. Actually, that article was in today's edition of the USA Today, and it is the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum. They have roughly 10,000 bobbleheads on display with a retail area with 500 bobbleheads on sale. I'll be like I would have died and gone to heaven.
That's pretty amazing.
It really is.
And I thought I had a nice collection of bobbleheads, not nearly as many as you have.
Well, I don't know. You might. I got a lot of them.
No. I have enough to have a starting lineup and a few extra players, and I have some announcers. I have a Marty Brenneman, Joe Nuxall bobblehead.
Very good.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Well, I'll be all over that one the next time we go to Milwaukee to check that out. Quick trip to the mound by Ray Searage, a pitching coach, and he's just now making his way back into the third base dugout. And Jeff Hartlieb will now deal with Eugenio Suarez, who's been on twice tonight with a walk and a two-base hit. He was on base in the last inning when Dietrich homered.
So did that article say that if it was only sports bobbleheads, or is it just famous bobbleheads?
Swing and a foul. No, I think it's everything.
Everything?
Yeah, let me go back and check it out. I'm pretty sure it's not restricted to just sports bobbleheads. They even have some knuckleheads in there. Let's see.
And we have some of those here, too.
You definitely got one. There's no question about that. You're killing me. That pitch is taken for a ball. And the count is 1-1 strike. Let's see here. No, you got them from all areas.
Oh, that's
all
cool.
areas of celebrity. The Brewers Racing Sausages are in there, and the Nationals Racing Presidents are on display. That ball fouled back.
Well, how can you not have the sausage race bobbleheads if it's in Milwaukee? That has to be there.
Well, I agree. Some of the bobbleheads, the article says, are unexpected, such as those of Leonardo da Vinci, Martin Luther King Jr., Albert Einstein, and various popes.
Wow.
Some are fun. Remember the crying piccolo girl from Villanova during the 2015 NCAA tournament? Got one of her in there. Chris Farley's Matt Foley character from Saturday Night Live. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds awesome.
I'll be all over that.
Well, fortunately for me, I'll be there with you
Well,
in Milwaukee.
we'll have a big time then, Bubba. They've always spoken highly of you in Milwaukee.
I'm not even sure what to say about that.
Derek Dietrich at the plate with 2 out, and that's a foul ball.
Well, yeah, I was a knucklehead. That's probably what they said about me.
No, I told you, that's reserved for 1 and 1 alone. We're having so much fun in here, I forgot to tell you that Suarez struck out swinging. And Derek Dietrich, who hit a long home run to right his last time up, he swings and sends a drive back into right field. He's got another one. Back-to-back at bats, back-to-back home runs for Derek Dietrich, who runs his season's total now to 16, and the Reds' lead goes to 6-0. It has been some kind of storybook season for this young man from Northern Ohio. Very, very impressive.
I mean, and that ball is in off the plate a little bit. It's a little cutter or cement mixer, basically. But, gosh, he got the barrel to that ball so quickly. And he is so stinking strong.
He really is. Here's a swing and a miss by Yasiel Puig.
And I was with our boy Josh Sneed today at his store at Cincy Shirts down and over the Rhine, and you know they're selling the Derek Dietrich shirts, the ones that say "Let It Fly." And I asked him, "How are those going?" He said, "They're going like hotcakes. People are buying them left and right."
Do they get any better than Josh Sneed?
No, they
He's
don't.
something, boy.
They don't. Josh took me to a nice restaurant. Then he took me to a donut shop today.
Well, you like him because he picked up the tab.
He wouldn't let me pay it. I'm telling you, he said it's a write-off. It's a write-off.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you just outed him right there. If anybody with
We had a business meeting.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine what that was about. Here's Puig's pitch, and that's swung on, and that's hit into left center field. That's another hit, and he's good. Oh, he thought about it, and now he's got to hustle back into first.
I tell you, Puig, I've seen him do this a few times. When he gets out of the box so fast, and then he puts on the brakes, I don't think anybody puts on the brakes as quick as he does.
It looks like his top half will separate from his bottom half. That's what it looks like. I'm not kidding you. He puts on the brakes about as good as anybody you've ever seen.
Yeah.
So young Mr. Jeff Hartlieb is having a tough time here in the home half of inning number 5. The Reds have scored 3. They've plated 5 runs in the last 2 at-bats. And they bat on now with Jose Iglesias stands in, and he has tripled and scored and walked. A loss tonight by the Pirates would send them under 500 for the season. A bomb to straightaway center field. It is off the wall. Coming hard to third is Puig. They're going to bring him around. And now they hold him up. J.R. House had every intention of waving him in, but then he realized that Marte got that throw back toward the infield. Kevin Newman went out in the shallow center to take the throw, and at that point, the Reds' third base coach threw up the stop sign.
And I think it was easy for him to throw that stop sign up, too, because Puig started to slow down a little bit when he was coming into third.
So 2 extra base hits tonight for Jose Iglesias. Tucker Barnhart becomes the 8th man to bat in the inning. He's bounced out and struck out. His ground out got a run home back in the second. Ball 1. So Josh is headed to Vegas, huh? For a show at the MGM?
MGM, that's big time. He might be too big time for us now, Marty.
I don't think he'd ever try and big time anybody.
No, he wouldn't.
He's a funny man. If you've never seen him, here's a line drive into center. That's a hit, and that'll get 2 more runs in. And the Reds now have a lead of 8-0. The throw down to second, not in time. 2-run single for Tucker Barnhart. And the hit parade continues here at Great American Ballpark as the Reds may well have blown this game wide open here in the bottom of the 5th. You say that with some small note of reservation because we've seen this kind of lead disappear this season with this Reds club. But, boy, they're just tattooing the baseball all over the yard tonight. What the hell happened there?
I'm wondering if Tucker Barnhart came off the base and they tagged him.
Apparently that's exactly what happened. Everybody was a little bit confused as to exactly what occurred. Tucker throwing his hands out to each side as he comes down toward the home plate end of the dugout, and we see the tag being applied.
Beginning at 5 on 700 WLW.
The top of the 6th inning with Tommy Thrall and Danny Graves and our engineer, producer, and our spiritual leader and mentor, Dave Yiddy Armbruster. Marty Brenneman back, and we head to the top of the 6th inning. First, we'll tell you, Yasiel Puig has been taken out of the lineup. Danny mentioned about him slowing down going into third base, and you just wonder if he didn't experience some type of lower body problem that has taken him out of the game. And the Reds now have Kyle Farmer at second. Peraza goes to left, and Jesse Winker moves over to play right. First pitch is in there for a called strike to catcher Diaz, who flied to right in the third. And the play on Tucker Barnhart that ended the 5th inning for the Redlegs. Breaking ball strike. It goes down as a 2-run single, and he was put out 8-2 to 5. Starling Marte to Diaz, 8-2 to 4, I should say, to the second baseman Kevin Newman. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 53 pitches. That's a total that Lucas Sims has thrown so far tonight. And now he misses high with a fastball to even the count at 2-2. They've had 2 hits. Marte single in the first, thrown out at second, trying to stretch it to a double. And then Bell opened the last inning with a double and then was doubled up on Moran's line drive to second. Did he go around? He did on a breaking ball. And Diaz, a strikeout victim, and that's 8 of them now for Lucas Sims, and that's a first out of the 6th inning. That is a career high. The 8 strikeouts for Lucas Sims. One of them came at the expense of Cole Tucker back in the 3rd inning. He stands in now to bat for the 2nd time, and he fouls it back. Reds have had a 9-hit attack tonight, 6 of them coming in the last inning. Ground ball to first, and there's Dietrich. He will wave away Sims and take it himself. And they're 2 up and 2 down. That'll bring the third baseman Osuna up. He was part of a double switch in the bottom of the 5th inning. He'll stand in to bat with 2 out. First pitch, a breaking ball strike, and he's thrown that curveball for strikes all night.
Marty, he's thrown everything for strikes. This is absolutely ridiculous how the rate that he's doing is 17 first pitch strikes to 18 batters he's faced.
That pitch is taken, another breaking ball, and again, strike two. In the dirt, tried to get him to chase, and he was not having any of it.
60 pitches total to this point, and 45 of them for strikes.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Now the 1-2 offering on the way, and that bounces up there. 2 balls and 2 strikes has not walked a batter, obviously, as he's 1 out away from facing the minimum of 18 batters over the first 6 innings.
Analytics or not, if you throw strikes, you're going to have success.
Correct. One of the basic tenets of this game of baseball and successful pitching. But now, after being ahead 0-2, he's not been able to put Osuna away. Now the payoff pitch coming to the right-hand batter, and he walked him. Well, there's one that he's missed with, and not happy about himself as he goes to work now on the leadoff batter, Kevin Newman. Strikeout and a ground ball to shortstop. That's been the offensive story tonight for the Pittsburgh Pirates second baseman. Breaking ball inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Kicks and pitches, and a swing and a fly ball hit back into right. Winker going back on it, draws a bead, makes a catch. Inning over. On we go, bottom of the 8th inning, and the only man who did not bat in the 5th will lead things off here in the 6th, and Jose Peraza. 2 balls grounded out to the left side of the infield tonight. 1 to short and 1 to third. It's a Reds 8, and it's a Pirates nothing, and the pitch is fouled off on a pitch in on his hands, 0-1. Jeff Hartley back for his 2nd inning of work after being battered around from pillar to post in the 5th. One ball and 1 strike. This is one of those games, and in particular, speaking about Clint Hurdle, I don't think he's going to go very deep into his bullpen tonight. This is a game that you will never articulate that we'll concede it. But until he sees something to make him think differently, he's not going to run pitcher after pitcher out there and throw good pitching after bad when he's still got another game to play tomorrow.
In a day game at that.
Exactly. That's ball 3. 3-1.
Well, generally, the bullpens do have at least one mop-up guy, so to speak, and we've all been that guy at some point in our careers, and right now, Hartlieb is that guy.
Here's a high fly ball headed toward Marte in center, and that catch is made, 1 out. Lucas Sims, and he should receive a very warm welcome for his 3rd at-bat for the way he has dealt from a pitching perspective with this Pittsburgh Ball Club tonight. Tonight's game brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealer and the dynamic new Toyota Camry, America's best-selling car, is one of 12 Toyotas built in the USA. For all Toyota offers, go to buyatoyota.com. Strike.
Well, how about this? Speaking of Toyota,
Do it to me.
tonight's Toyota Tundra Home Run Challenge contestant is Kurt Lewis of New Carlisle, Ohio.
That ball is hit in the air to left. Melky Cabrera going toward the line, locating the ball and making the catch. 2 out.
If a home run hit by a Reds player during tonight's game hits the Toyota sign located between the PNC power stacks, then Kurt will win a brand new 2019 Tundra, courtesy of your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. Let's do it.
2 men up, 2 men down. Nick Senzel, he's a guy that got things going in the last inning with a 1-out double. One ball and no strikes.
And that was the double that Marte misplayed, spun around, and it makes you wonder if he makes that play, that whole inning might be totally different.
That's very true. Swung on and hit to center field, and Marte will pick it off. And the Reds go quietly.
Cheer on your Redlegs when they take on the Nationals in a 3-game series beginning this Friday. Presented by Kroger, Zero Hunger, Zero Waste. Enjoy a post-game fireworks show presented by your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. Catch the action for as low as $12. Visit reds.com/150. Gregory Polanco will lead off the Pirates' 7th inning, and Lucas Sims deals outside for ball 1. And that is a rare first pitch miss tonight for Lucas Sims.
Very rare.
He's been dialed in. The pitch too tight. Look out. Polanco didn't like it. He does a little shimmy after dodging that fastball into his hip. Reds are up 8-0, top of the 7th inning. Once again, we see the Reds swinging the bats well. 8 runs last night, scored 5 runs in the first game yesterday. And Polanco turned on this one. He hit it a mile but foul. And it's 2-1. That offense finally starting to come around for the Reds, and then getting an excellent start from Lucas Sims so far tonight. 2 balls, 1 strike. He's allowed just 2 hits as he pitches here in the 7th, and the 2-1 is outside for ball. 3-1. Gregory Polanco, Starling Marte, Josh Bell. They're the do-up, swing and a miss, 3-1 pitch, and Polanco nearly came out of his shoes chasing that fastball, but he came up empty. Red shifting to Polanco's pull side with Farmer standing in shallow right. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. That's 9 strikeouts for Lucas Sims.
And that is basically old-fashioned hardball right there. Rear back and see how far you can hit it, if you can.
He continues to add to his career high. And now he'll tangle with Starling Marte.
We like to say that he got Linda Ronstadted. This Blue Bayou.
Here's the pitch to Marte, and that's a breaking ball in there for strike. 0-1. If it had not been for that term, you would have no idea who Linda Ronstadt is.
Oh, come on, Tommy Thrall. I'm like 20 years older than you are.
That's true. The pitch is up and away. The count is 1-1 on Starling Marte.
I mean, that great 1999 Reds team that we had, you weren't even born yet.
Careful. The pitch is a strike to Marte, 1-2. I wish I was that young. Feel that young sometimes. I have to remind myself that I'm not. The 1-2. And that is lined to right center field, and that'll get down for a hit. Cutting it off in the alley is Senzel. He spins and throws, and the tag not in time. Marte dives in. That was a really fine play by Senzel. He cut that ball off on a hop in the right center field gap, and he just spun and threw a 1-hop dart right on target to Iglesias at second base, who slapped the tag down, and it was close, but not quite in time.
Great call right there, but that's as close as you can get without throwing him out. And just to make you realize how good Nick Senzel is, he didn't even get everything on that throw that he could have. He was throwing that on the run, and that was amazing. That was a perfect throw. Just Marte's got too much speed.
Runner at second with one out. And Josh Bell comes to the plate. He doubled leading off the fifth inning, then was doubled off of second base. And Lucas Sims will spin and lift the runner back to second base. Sims comes set and deals, and Bell takes outside, ball one.
Gosh, that's really the first pitch of the game that Lucas Sims has missed badly.
Right.
Most of the ones that he's missed, he's been kind of around the plate.
And keep in mind, he fell behind Gregory Polanco and gave up that double to right center by Marte, and now he misses high, 2-0 on Josh Bell. The pitch count right now it's 77 for Lucas Sims. You'd figure that's not bad, so he should be in pretty good shape, but the 2-0 pitch, and it's a strike called on the outside corner. Now 2-1 for the first time, really, we're seeing him have some degree of control issues.
And the 78 pitches now, he hasn't had any stressful innings until now, if you want to even call this a stressful inning. So the pitch count to me is not an issue.
2-1 fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Josh Bell. He's hit safely, and now 8 straight games with his double his last time up. He's hitting almost .430 over that stretch.
Is that good?
Pretty good. Yeah, that ain't bad. Marte away from the bag at second base. Sims home with the 2-2. Breaking ball chopped to the mound. Sims will glove it. Had to wait for it to come down. Now throwing time to get Bell.
And I know this is thinking a little too far ahead, but with Lucas Sims, knowing that he's probably only going to get this one start, I just want to leave him out there and let him go as long as he can, as hard as he can. And that way you can hopefully get an off day for the whole bullpen.
On that play, Marte moved up to third base. Now 2 outs, and the batter is Melky Cabrera. I would guess that's kind of along the same lines the Reds' thinking would be at this point. See how much you can get out of them.
Yeah, I mean, it would be huge to have an off day for the whole complete bullpen tonight.
They'd be fresh for tomorrow's day game. The pitch is fouled into the netting past the third base dugout. Strike one on Melky Cabrera. And then, of course, you have the off day on Thursday, and then you go into that National Series over the weekend, and you would figure that everybody would be in pretty good shape.
That would be ideal.
Here's the 0-1. And there's a fly ball to right field over towards center. It's Winker. He's there, and he's got it. The catch is made, and the inning comes to 7th inning, leading 8-0 over the Pirates. The Reds for consecutive wins, and there's a swing and a tap foul inside of the first base line. Strike one. And the Reds have been trading wins since all the way back to the series finale against the Cubs when the two teams met here at Great American Ballpark. So the Reds have not had back-to-back wins since May 15th and 16th. Winker takes down and away. They've been a game over 500 in that stretch, but now trying to get to a point where they're just 3 games under 500 overall on the season. If they can get a win today. There's a bouncing ball right at the second baseman, Kevin Newman. He gloves and throws out Winker, 1 down in the 7th. Now Eugenio Suarez. Not a bad night for him. A walk, a double, run scored. He struck out his last time up, but he's been on base 2 out of the three trips to the plate. Jeff Hartley, he's just wearing it tonight for the Pirates. Still out there. Here in the 7th, the pitch. Suarez fouls it into the netting above the Reds' dugout. But to his credit, the Reds just jumped all over him in the 5th inning. And then he bounced back and got a 1-2-3-6. He's retired the first man here in the 7th. So he settled down a little bit. 0-1. On inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that's exactly what Clint Hurdle once for him. Yes, it was a rough first inning, but settle down and just eat up these innings.
And he has done that. 1-1. In the dirt outside, 2 balls and a strike on Suarez. No indication that the night is over for Lucas Sims. He went back to the dugout. Business as usual. A lot of times you see the handshakes, pats on the back, things of that sort when a guy's day is done, but we did not see that when Sims got back. The pitch up and in for a ball to Suarez. It's 3-1. So it would stand to reason that he'll be back out there again for the 8th inning.
Yeah, let's just hope for a real quick 8th inning because I want to see him back out there for the 9th.
You're telling me. 3 balls, 1 strike on Suarez. The pitch outside, ball 4. He walks for the second time. And now he's aboard with 1 out for Derek Dietrich. Comes to the plate again with the man on. 2 taters already tonight. 366 to right field in the 5th for his 16th home run after he belted one 392 into the right field seats in the 4th. The pitch. Dietrich takes down and in, ball 1. He seems to like hitting off of Pirate pitching.
Yes. He wishes he could play these guys every series.
Swing and a miss, and the count is even 1-1. He has belted 6 homers against the Pirates this year. That is 6 of his 16. And now the pitch got away from the right-hander hardly, but a nice job by Diaz to snag that and keep it from going to the backstop. 2 balls and a strike on Dietrich, and now Diaz is going to walk out the mound and take his time getting out there to have a conversation with Hartley.
Those 6 homers that you mentioned from Derek Dietrich against the Pirates, I just saw on the monitor here that is the most against the Pirates in one season since Rogers Hornsby did it. I didn't see the year, but Rogers Hornsby played a long time ago.
1931, I believe. And that was the most at this point in a season. So, yeah, I mean, we're not even in June, and he's already done that. Pretty impressive.
Yes. Amazing.
And I think if you total up the distance of all those home runs, they probably wrap from here to the moon back 50 times or something like that. I mean, he is just... Remember the 2 of them in Pittsburgh went into the Allegheny.
Yeah, and nobody does that.
No.
Nobody's ever hit 2 in the Allegheny in the same day, right?
I think it's only happened a couple of times. I mean, there's I want to say he was maybe the second player to do that. But the list of players to hit it into the river, I mean, it's not a very long list.
No, it's. I mean, you said it yesterday. He doesn't hit wall scrapers.
No, he doesn't.
He hits. I like to call them bomb-zillas.
When you come to see the Reds, be sure you've downloaded Ballpark, the official Great American Ballpark app. Check into the game to unlock special offers, exclusive content, and seat upgrades. Download Ballpark for free and play baseball bingo, presented by Dynegy. The conference on the mound is over. Now the pitch to Dietrich, and he swings and barrels another one to right, and this one's gone. 3 for Derek Dietrich, and all 3 are 2-run home runs.
Well, I get to say it again. Just another bombzilla for Derek Dietrich. Now that's 7 against the Pirates this year.
Have yourself a day, Derek Dietrich. That is the first career 3-home run game for Derek Dietrich. And this crowd's still on its feet as he gets back to the dugout. That one a curtain call. And there it is. Stands up on the bench near the front rail of the dugout, takes his cap off, and takes a bow.
That is classic.
Quinn Hurdle making a double switch. We'll sort it out when we come back. Derek Dietrich has gone deep 3 times, and the Reds have opened up a 10-0 lead on the Pirates in the bottom of the 7th on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
September of 2017, 1 appearance this year so far.
So here is rookie. No longer a rookie as he deals with Kyle Farmer. Came into the game for Yasiel Puig, and the pitch misses for ball 1. Also into the game, now playing left field, is Brian Reynolds. He will bat 6th. A 1-0 pitch. And Davis deals a strike over the inside corner at the knees. The count is 1-1. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. And the former Red gets the sign and delivers. 1-1 pitch. Grounded foul. Outside of third base. 10-0 Reds. Derek Dietrich, the story of the night. Belting 3 home runs, all of them 2-run shots. Home runs 15, 16, and 17 for his first career 3-home-run game. And the pitch is outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Kyle Farmer. If you care at all about exit velocity, and I don't get too wrapped up in it unless it really jumps out at you, and this one did. The 2-2 swing and a miss, and now on strikes Kyle Farmer. That last home run that Dietrich hit left his bat at 107.8 miles an hour.
Yeah, it got out of here in a hurry.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Probably put a pretty good dent in one of those seats.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you're jumping in the way of that one to try to barehand that laser. Here's Jose Iglesias. Davis brings it in, and Iglesias takes a strike over the outside corner. Ricky Davis underwent hip surgery at the end of the 2017 season. It's been a long road back for him. Pitch is fouled back. He signed a minor league deal with the Pirates in spring training and has been pitching down at AAA Indianapolis. And he is certainly glad to be back, and I think probably gives him a little more joy to be back here at Great American Ballpark and pitching against his former organization. Here's the 0-2 to Iglesias. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for rookie Davis after entering the game, and the Reds are finished in the 7th. But a good round. Derek Dietrich hits his 3rd home run to stretch the Reds' lead. It's now
on into inning number 8 with the Reds clearly a big leader in this game by a score of 10-0, and it'll be Brian Reynolds, who came in as part of a double switch in the bottom of the 7th to lead it off against Lucas Sims. And the first pitch, a breaking ball. Typically, first pitch, a strike. 9 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and he has surrendered a total of 3 hits. Long look down to Tucker Barnhart by the right-hander, and back he comes, and that one is swung on and looped down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Over to cut it off and get the throw quickly back toward the infield is Jose Peraza. So a leadoff opposite field single by Reynolds.
And I thought that was a for sure double right there. Peraza got to that ball very quickly.
That comes on the 84th pitch thrown tonight by Lucas Sims. And he'll deal now with Diaz, the catcher of the Pirates, has fly to right, and he is struck out. And the pitch. And it's in there for a call strike. Again. And I'm always reminded of, God rest his soul, Scott Breeden, who was a pitching coach for the Reds back in the 80s. He worked as Pete Rose's pitching coach for a while. There's a swing and a miss, and, of course, he articulated, I think, what everyone knew, but it was his mantra, it was his credo, and that is, you throw a first pitch strike and you are so far ahead of the game, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
And the numbers would bear that out. If you get a first pitch strikeout, the odds of you getting that hitter out are much, much greater than otherwise. And that's what he preached to every pitcher that came under his tutelage in the time that he was not only at the big league level, but also in the Reds organization. 1-2, the count on Diaz after the leadoff single by Reynolds. And that pitch, a breaking ball that misses down and away. And I think the Reds bullpen has activity underway now for the first time tonight. Josh Van Meter now at second base, and Kyle Farmer has moved over to play third. And now it's a 3-2 count. And maybe tiring just a bit at the moment. He is not showing the command right now that he has had for most of the night tonight. And, of course, the Reds got him a lead early when they scored that run in the second on the Iglesias triple and the ground out by Tucker Barnhart, but then gave him breathing room on the first of 3 home runs off the bat of Derek Dietrich. Here's a looping liner down the right field line, and that's a fair ball. And quickly up with it is Winker, and now the Pirates have him at first and second with nobody out. But 2 flares. It's not like they hit 2 rockets off of him. Believe me, you could almost catch both of those balls with your bare hands.
You got that right, and those aren't bad pitches off the end of the bat for both of them. But Lucas Sims has definitely exceeded expectations tonight already.
Here comes Derek Johnson, the Reds pitching coach, so that means that Lucas Sims is going to hang around at least for another batter. He'll be facing Cole Tucker when this meeting on the mound breaks up. The name of the game tonight has been Derek Dietrich from an offensive standpoint and Lucas Sims from a pitching perspective. Dietrich with 3 2-run home runs in the 4th and the 5th and again in the 7th. That raises his total on the year to 17. And Sims has pitched 7 2/3 innings of 5-hit shutout baseball, but the first 2 batters here in the inning have opened with base hits. Those 17 homers, by the way, project Dietrich into a 3rd-place tie in the National League. Going into play tonight, Pete Alonso of the Mets and Josh Bell of the Pirates with 17. Cody Bellinger second in the league with 19, and Christian Yelich has a total of 21. So the meeting is over, and here's Cole Tucker. And that one is fouled straight back. So Reynolds and Diaz single. Tucker tonight has struck out and grounded to first. Pirates down by 10 runs, so I guess the one goal they have right now at this late stage of the game, if nothing else, is to at least spoil the shutout bid. In with the 0-1 pitch. That is hit in the air to left. Moving toward the line and a bit back to make the grab is Jose Peraza, and the runners will have to stay at first and second on the first out of the inning.
Now one more pitch, get you a double play, and give yourself a chance to go out there for the 9th inning.
Indeed. Here's Jose Osuna. He came into the game back in the 5th and batted in the 6th inning and had a walk. Fans at Kroger, it's easy to place your order online and pick up at the store. Try it soon at Kroger.com. Two on, one out. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball.
Fans, it's time for Ask Marty, where you can ask the Hall of Famer to give his thoughts on any subject, baseball or non-baseball, presented by CBTS. Today's question comes from @RealWhiteWeasel.
Come on, Weeze.
Come on, Weeze.
Here's a swing and a fly ball lifted down the right field line. Long run by Winker, and it's a foul ball. He went hard as he could for as long as he could. The ball hits just there down the right field line. Weeze, what's up, Biggin?
Weeze, here we go. Marty, what Reds trade during your time with the Reds most surprised you and why?
Well, I think one of them that surprised me was the trade that the Reds made for Ken Griffey Jr. because I don't think anybody saw that coming. To my recollection, when the deal was made, I don't really remember that there was a lot of conversation or rumors or such as that. Another trade, actually one that shocked me even worse, was when Tom Seaver was traded from the Mets to the Reds back in the late 70s. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and he hit him with a pitch. Had him in a hole at no balls and 2 strikes. And he hits the batter, Osuna, and that'll load the bases up. And now the conversation ensues in the Reds dugout involving Derek Johnson and manager David Bell. Do we make a move now, or do we give him at least one more hitter? The batter will be Kevin Newman. The Seaver thing was born out of a lot of reasons. The fact that Tom was at odds, I think, with the Payton family who owned the Mets. M. Donald Grant, in particular, was a big figure in that situation in New York. The pitch is taken off the plate and low for a ball, but I don't think anybody anticipated that Seaver would have ever been traded from that ball club. He had been there for 10 or 11 years, and at that point he was a lock to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And everyone figured he's one of those guys that would end his career, just like Johnny Bench did here, the same place he started, 2 balls and no strikes. But then came the trade that sent Seaver to the Reds in return for Steve Henderson and Danny Norman, a couple of outfielders that were playing at that time at AAA Indianapolis, and Doug Flynn.
Our good friend Doug Flynn.
Yep. Here's a 2-0 pitch, and that is a foul out of play. I'd say those 2 trades probably were the 2 that shocked me the most.
Yeah, that Griffey one, that definitely came out of nowhere, it seemed like.
Yep. 3 men on, 1 man out, a 2-1 count on Newman, who has struck out, grounded out, and flied out. Here's the stretch and the hold and the pitch on the way from Lucas Sims, and that's way down low, and it's a 3-1 count. And there is no question that he is operating on fumes right now.
Yeah, he certainly is now for sure. He's up at 99 pitches. Hasn't thrown that many in AAA at all yet this year. And a lot of big innings, long innings offensively for the Reds, so he's had time to sit there, but that isn't always the best thing for a pitcher.
Well, they looked in for the sign, stepped off, and now gets back on again. The bases are full of Pirates. And now he's ready with a 3-1 pitch to Kevin Newman, and here it is. And it is swung on and hit back into deep right center field, and that ball carries out of here for a grand slam home run. Well, that'll spell the end of the night, and it's unfortunate it has to end on the note that it ends with. Newman's grand slam makes it a 10-4 game, but nobody, I guarantee you, that's favorite color is red, is going to think any less of the job that Lucas Sims did tonight despite the grand slam. And manager David Bell now bounces out of the dugout and makes his way to the mound. This young man has come up from Louisville, and I mean, he has really pitched himself proud. Probably a little bit down right now because he gave up the grand slam, and Derek Dietrich right in his face, and I'm sure saying all the right things as he leaves. And he gets a standing ovation from the many people here at Great American Ballpark. Memorable night for Lucas Sims, who's on his way to a win. We've got a pitching change here in the 8th. It's 10-4 Reds, and we'll be back in just...
For Lucas Sims is Robert Stevenson on for the 21st time of the year. And, Marty, you said it before the break. Lucas Sims, absolutely excellent tonight, should not be disappointed whatsoever.
I certainly wouldn't, and I tell you what, far exceeded the expectations, I think, of a lot of people, what he did here tonight. Robert Stevenson now working to Gregory Polanco, and the pitch is high and away for a ball. If you can assume that Stevenson can finish this game, the job that Sims has done tonight has really saved the bullpen. It badly needed this type of an outing that they got from Lucas Sims tonight, and he delivered. Here's a Swing and a miss. He threw exactly 100 pitches over 7 1/3 innings, giving up 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 9 punch-outs, and a hit batter. The 1-1 coming. And it's hit foul off third, now to play.
Faced 28 batters, 23 first pitch strikes.
How about that?
Unbelievable. Really, this inning, the only hard hit ball was the home run.
Yep.
The 2 bloopers and then a hit by pitch.
Spoken like a former pitcher.
That's right.
I love that.
Always.
A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Polanco with Marte waiting to bat next. And that's in the dirt.
And this crowd understands how huge that performance was. Even after giving up a grand slam, you hardly ever see somebody get a standing ovation after giving up a grand slam.
Yep. Coming with a 2-2 pitch. And did he go? He did. That's a strikeout. That was a bad breaking ball down and a bit away from the left-handed batting Polanco. And the third base umpire, Jansen Visconti, rings him up. We'll pause for identification on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 69. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, a chance of showers and storms, a high of 85. Thursday, mostly cloudy with showers and storms likely in the afternoon, a high of 80. It's 80 degrees at the home of the Reds. News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
Robert Stevenson strikes out the first batter he faces. And now Marte sends a fly ball into right center, and Winker flags it down. And a good job to end the inning. Strikeout, fly out. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Reds 10 and the Pirates 4 on the side tonight. This is the bottom of the 8th. They lead by 6, and they've got Tucker Barnhart, who has knocked in 3 runs tonight. 2 of them on a single in the 4-run 5th inning. And the former Red rookie Davis misses up and away ball 1. So Tucker has extended his hitting streak to 7 games. Nick Senzel has sent his on to a 6-game hitting streak. That one is down a ball. The count's 2-0. And that one is hammered to left field. Well hit. Down toward the left field corner. That ball is a foul ball. Hit down in that corner and then kicked back toward center field. But third base umpire Visconti was right on it and signal foul as the count goes to 2-1 on the Reds catcher. There's no more need to eat out when you can enjoy the ultimate appetizer from home with JTM's new Craft House Creations beer, cheese, and pretzel bites. Find this favorite game day snack in your grocer's freezer. JTM, let's create great dishes together. Wind up in the pitch. High, ball 3, 3-1. Davis back to the plate and a foul ball back. So in this series, you've had back-to-back days of grand slam home runs. Yesterday, it was last night, Jose Iglesias in the first inning off of the rookie Mitch Keller making his big league debut. And now tonight in the 8th inning, a grand slam by Kevin Newman of the Pirates. But that's the reason why you build up big leads if you can. And that's what the Reds did tonight, 10-0 before Newman went deep with the bases loaded. Hit hard. But the second baseman there for the pickup, and Newman throws on to first, 1 out.
And that was Newman's first career home run as a major leaguer.
How about that? Kevin Newman, one to remember.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Here's Jose Peraza. A note, if the Reds go on and win this game, it will be the first time that they have been 3 games under 500, or that close to getting to 500 since the 26th of April when they were 11-14. Here's a high drive hit back into left field, and the Reds have homered again. It's 11-4. Number 5 for Peraza. The Reds have played long ball 4 times tonight. The first 3 off the bat of Derek Dietrich, and now a solo blast into the lower deck and left off the bat of Peraza. So 1 out with a run in, and here's Robert Stevenson. And he fouls it back. The Reds were 11-14 after the game of April the 26th. That was a game in which, behind Anthony DeSclafani and some rather lusty offense, they beat up on Miles Michaelis and the Cardinals in St. Louis 12-1. This one fouled back, and they've not been 3 games under 500 since then until tonight. 0-2 the count as Stevenson fouls it off. The wind, the kick, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout for rookie Davis, and the leadoff batter will stand in. That would be Nick Senzel, who's 1 for 4.
So you got a trivia answer for me? We got time for that?
I answered it. Oh, the trivia. Oh, time out here. This is too big to pass up. There it is. That's one of the most iconic players in Pittsburgh Pirate history. Ball 1, Hall of Fame shortstop Hannes Wagner, 21 years in the big leagues, 18 in a Pirate uniform. What other big league ball club did he play for? A, Hartford Blues, B, Louisville Colonels, C, St. Louis Cardinals. You said?
C, St. Louis Cardinals.
Are you staying there?
Staying right there.
You are?
Yes.
You sure?
Positive.
Yeah, well, you're wrong.
Oh, really?
From 1892 to 1899, Louisville had a National League franchise, and Wagner played his first seasons as a big leaguer with the Colonels from 1897 to 1899.
I can't believe that.
When Louisville was contracted after the 99 season, here's a ground ball up the middle, cut off by Kevin Newman. He throws Senzel out. The inning is over. The Pirates acquired a number of the club's players, and Hannes Wagner. This reminder, registration is now open for the College Advantage Redlegs Run on Saturday, June the 8th. You can sign up right now for the 10K, the 5K, the 1 Mile Family Run, or the Gappers Kids Fun Run. All proceeds benefit the Reds Community Fund. Register now at reds.com/run. And we are in the top of the 9th inning, and Stevenson going to work on Josh Bell, who has doubled in 3 at-bats. Reds have an 11-4 lead, and Bell waves at pitch number 1. Stevenson from the stretch and onto the plate. And just a little bit low to put the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. One more strikeout away from free La Rosa's Pizza. And here's a 1-2 from Stevenson to Bell, and he fouls it off. In the 7 1/3 innings in which Sims was on the mound, he punched out 9. Stevenson fanned Polanco for the 10th red strikeout in the 8th. And now free, what are they saying? Free pizza?
Pizza.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Here's a pause in the pitch, and it's up and outside a ball.
I mean, you can't go wrong with La Rosa's Pizza, though.
No, you cannot. And pepperoni just the smell just fills the room. It's
Yes, it
unbelievable
does.
when they bring it in here.
It does.
It's a 2-2 count. Struck him out swinging. There it is. There it is. The 11th strikeout, free La Rosa's Pizza. And Tommy Thrall is veritably dancing in the back of the booth. He has a late night snack.
Oh, I think a lot of people in this crowd got more excited for that 11th strikeout than they did for Dietrich's 3 homers.
I know it. Just kind of a mix up in priorities a little bit. Here's Jacob Stallings now, and he'll pinch hit. He caught the second game of the day-night doubleheader last night. And the pitch just a bit inside, ball 1. Stallings, a right-hand batter. And the pitch. That's in for a strike. Tommy Thrall will have all the scores of all the games coming up in our award-winning post-game show. Now the 1-1 pitch. And that's a strike swinging. The Cubs currently in the 4th inning have a 3-2 lead down in Houston. If the Astros can come back and win that game, the Reds would then climb to within 5 games of first in the National League Central. And the Cardinals, they are losing again. Philadelphia beating them at the end of 4 innings of play, 4-3 in Philadelphia. There's a line drive into center, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So Stallings a pinch hit single. And the one-out batter will be Brian Reynolds. $13,824 turnout for tonight's Titanic struggle. 13,824.
Is that trademarked yet?
No.
We need to get it trademarked.
I'm on the downside, big boy. They ain't going to be hearing that much more.
Now, this is it's like a prenup, though.
That pitch is taken for a ball.
Nobody after you should be allowed to say that.
No, but what I want to take away, and I'm going to use it the next opportunity, and that is a fake upsetness.
Fake upsetness.
Yep.
That's right.
Guy getting all bent out of shape down on the field, and he really doesn't mean it. It's all for show. That's fake upsetness.
Right. It used to be called eyewash.
Well, I know I like fake upsetness better.
Me too. Way better.
1-0 pitch coming. Something's wrong with you people. 2 balls and no strikes.
I mean, eyewash was the term for so many decades.
That sure was.
Of just like nonsense.
And it got tired.
Very tired.
I know it did.
But last night this new term was invented.
It's the best, fake upsetness.
We got to start.
Or genuine upsetness. I mean, we can go both ways with that. But the key word is upsetness.
Right.
Don't be scurrying now, folks, to your dictionary because it ain't in there. There's a foul ball. You ain't going to find it. And even if you go to the Funkin' Wagnalls, it ain't in there either.
Not in the English dictionary.
Negative.
Maybe in the Texas dictionary where I'm from or Florida dictionary where I grew up. It might be.
You said that.
I said that.
Yes.
I said that.
What part of Florida did you go?
Tampa.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. Yeah. Where'd you go to high school?
Brandon High School.
Yeah.
The Eagles.
That's right adjacent to Plant City.
Yes, sir.
How about that?
I'm telling you, I came and saw you when I was a kid when y'all were in Plant City. I used to go to a lot of the Reds games during spring training.
You steal anything?
Probably. Used to go to a lot of Tampa Tarpons games when y'all had a single A team there.
I tell you, Brandon, of course, I know you know it better than I do. It's changed so much from those days, it's hardly recognizable.
Yeah.
Plant City hasn't changed too much.
They just
Plant City's Plant City.
They just have strawberries there.
You trained there, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you did. That's right.
Sarasota.
Yeah. You were blessed.
The last year you guys were in Plant City, I got traded to Cincinnati the next year.
There's a wild pitch, and that baby will send the runner on to second base, standing up. Stevenson uncorks a dandy there, and now he's behind to Brian Reynolds, 3-1. So you came from the Indians. Sean Casey came from the Indians.
Mm-hmm.
So the last year the Reds were in Plant City was when you got traded. So your first spring with the Reds was in Sarasota.
Correct.
Yeah. 3-1 the count on Brian Reynolds, runner at second. 11-4 the score. The Reds have the lead. There is one man out. And Stevenson needs a strike. And it's hit foul to left and out of play. Sarasota was a good time.
I loved Sarasota.
So do I. Nobody loves Sarasota, Florida like I do. I just think it's a great place to spend time. It's got one of the great beaches in the world. It's easy to get around. It's just a nice, nice city.
You have a place down there, don't you?
I do, in Siesta Key. 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4. He walked him.
And Reynolds stood there at the plate thinking that was strike 3.
Well, the umpire should have said, well, if that's what you want, you got it.
Exactly.
Bring him up.
That was my point. If they're going to stand there, send them back to the dugout.
Absolutely. Make them happy. 2 men on, 1 man out, and Diaz, the catcher, will settle in to hit. And it looks like they're going to get a pinch runner in.
Well, why would they be bringing in?
Joe Musgrove, one of the rotation pitchers, has been brought off the bench. Maybe Clint's playing it like the 7th game of the World Series. I don't know.
I mean, you certainly wouldn't want to get a pitcher hurting himself running the bases in an 11-4 game.
I wouldn't think. Now, if it was a 1-run game, something like that.
Different story.
2-run game, then that's a different deal. Diaz singled and scored in the 8th inning. He was on base when Newman hit the grand slam home run to get the Pirates on the board. That's a swing and a miss. Big cut by Diaz. Trying to think. Casey, he spent a spring in Plant City, I believe.
No, he came a year after me.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he got traded a few days before opening day for Dave Bourbon in 98.
I think it was the day before opening day.
Right.
Yeah. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that one is headed toward the gap in left center field, and that baby is going to get a couple of runs in. And on to second base and stopping there with a 2-run double is Diaz. It is now 11-6. Well, I'll tell you one thing. If I'm David Bell, I get somebody warmed up right now.
Somebody's up already. Jared Hughes is up.
I wouldn't put up with this foolishness much longer. We talked about it before. You got a big lead, and all of a sudden, the team that's been trailing all night long starts to muster some offense, and they have a reason to think they can get back in it. And oftentimes, that's bad news. So Robert Stevenson got the first batter with a strikeout, and right now Tucker Barnhart's going to the mound, and all this is a stall tactic to give whoever's warming up in that bullpen time to get ready, and David Bell to make a pitching change. And he takes a quick look over into the dugout, does Barnhart, and I think Stevenson is going to be allowed to face one more batter, and that'll be shortstop Cole Tucker.
That's the worst as a pitcher when you know that they're just coming out to stall. I had a catcher, and I probably shouldn't say his name on the air, but
You can do that.
okay, his name is Eddie Taubensee.
Yes.
So he came out to the mound one time and said, "I'm just out here because they told me to come out here and stall." And I said, "Eddie, go back to behind the plate. Don't come out here and tell me that."
Is that exactly what you said?
Yes.
It is.
Well, maybe a couple of other words,
Yeah,
but
well, I understand.
I don't speak that way anymore.
Yeah. Well, you know what Bob Gibson told Tim McCarver the first time McCarver caught Bob Gibson, don't you?
No.
And Timmy was scared to death. I've told this story before, but it's truly one of the great baseball stories of all time. Ground ball to shortstop. The runner will go to third, and the throw to first is in time, and they're 2 out. So the first 2 innings, everything's fine. Timmy's a rookie. Gibson's on his way to the Hall of Fame, and Timmy is very uncomfortable. So now the 3rd inning comes, and he gives up a base hit. He walks a batter, and Tim said, "Now I got to go out there." And he said, "I'd rather somebody beat me up." He calls timeout, and he starts out toward the mound and gets halfway out there, and Gibson throws his hand up in the air. He said, "Timmy, stop. The only thing you know about hitting is you can't do it. So go on back." Tim tells the story all the time. Jose Osuna swings and misses.
That is classic.
The only thing you know about hitting is you can't do it. And believe me, I got to know Gibson a bit. I came in toward the tail end of his career, and he could be a very funny man. Swing and a miss. And Osuna's behind at the count 0-2. 2 runs are in, a runner at third base. Pirates avoid a shutout on a Kevin Newman grand slam in the 8th, and now they've scored twice here in the 9th. And Stevenson with a big leg kick and the pitch on the way, and he jams him and he fouls it back. And it drops just below our broadcast booth.
I almost had that.
You almost fell out. That's what you almost did.
I got my seatbelt on.
Okay, that's good. I'll bring a high chair for you tomorrow night. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And a fly ball into right center, and Winker calls, and the catch is made. And this one belongs to the Reds. Cincinnati, on the strength of a big night by Derek Dietrich at the plate and Lucas Sims on the mound, knocks off the Pittsburgh Pirates by a final score of 11-6. We'll be back in just a